Hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. It is Saturday, March 15th, 2025. This is an update for the All Hazards Consortium, the sensitive information sharing environment, where we share information across platforms so we can keep the private sector and public sector organizations like state emergency operations centers on the same page when it comes to sharing information to improve the movement of utility trucks across borders, goods and services across borders from the private sector in the food, fuel, communications, transportation, medical supply, logistics industries. And we have a major severe weather event going on right now. Last several days, we were down in Florida giving a couple of talks, invited talks on our book, which we're so happy to have been invited to talk to the Florida Aquarium in Tampa and also down in Sarasota. But today, a much different day as far as the weather is concerned down in the south. You can see it from the satellite picture. Take a look at this. I'm going to point this out. This is two separate low pressure systems. We have one circulating up here in the Great Lakes region and upper parts of Wisconsin, eastern Minnesota. And then another one that's really wrapping up here and generating a lot of severe weather in parts of eastern Louisiana and also into Mississippi, where we have numerous tornado warnings issued. This is not a live broadcast, so I'm going to be recording this and uploading it to YouTube, so I'm not going to go over individual tornado warnings because they are going to be evolving throughout the day, and there are going to be some tornadoes that remain on the ground in what we call a long track form. Be long track, deadly, devastating tornadoes. That is the ingredients that have existed for the last several days that are coming together today. I am going to show you a number of things, though. This is the satellite image perspective, and you can see I've put on the sea surface temperature data as well. I'm going to look down here into the Caribbean because you can see the loop current here. Sea surface temperatures in the Gulf and also in the Caribbean are above average already in March. We're in the middle of March. Hurricane season starts June 1st. We're going to be monitoring that very, very closely. But what I want to do is take this full screen and I'll show you what's going on here. You can see what's going on in Oklahoma. You can see the low pressure system wrapping up here over Arkansas. I'm going to take you close in to the Gulf Coast with the high resolution geostationary GOES operated by NOAA, the high resolution part of this satellite, which is giving us imagery every 1 minute. Look at this. And there are some tremendous signatures on this satellite picture. So look at this area of a line of showers and thunderstorms passing through eastern Louisiana. This is Louisiana right here. Here is Louisiana. This is Mississippi. And this is Alabama. Any of these bumps that you see in these clouds are very severe thunderstorms. And look at these. These are like pumping thunderstorms, pumping the exhaust out in succession. Look at that. It's just like a line of them, and they may be coming severe. No severe thunderstorm warnings on these particular storms as of yet, but these may be starting to rotate. We're going to be monitoring these as well. If you live in northeastern Louisiana and southeastern Arkansas, this could be another line of severe weather. Down to the southeast a little bit further here, I'm going to do a little bit of drawing on here for you as well, and I'll make this drawing red here. You can see this line of thunderstorms right in here. There are numerous tornado warnings in this area. So my advice to the All Hazards Consortium stakeholders, stay away from these areas unless you have to be called in to restore power, because there is active severe weather going on here right now. And I'm going to move the satellite picture just up a little bit further. And there's other thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms going on as well throughout Mississippi. That's all through this area in here. These are severe thunderstorms, and you can see them just bubbling up in parts of Mississippi. Also here, extending into Alabama. And this severe thunderstorm and tornado threat is going to extend well into Alabama later on this afternoon into tonight, and also impact parts of Georgia. So let me widen out once again here to the satellite picture. We're talking about a major threat for severe weather, basically in this area here during the day today and tonight, even in parts of Kentucky. I'll show you the official National Weather Service outlook for severe weather and convection for day one here in just a minute. So I'm going to clear that drawing and let's go over to GeoCollaborate right now, because I do want to show you that area of severe weather that's expected. This area in like a purplish color is the highest risk today for major long track tornadoes. And you'll see it in the crawl at the bottom where eastern Louisiana and Mississippi during the late morning to early afternoon today, but will spread across Alabama late today into the evening. So my advice to anyone associated or watching this video associated with the All Hazards Consortium, anywhere in this orange area that you see, in this orange area, please use extreme caution in making sure that you stay out of that area. Okay, so all the way from this area extending up here down to the south, and then also down through central Georgia. And that includes Atlanta, because we're going to be seeing severe weather possibilities and perhaps even some tornado possibilities in the Atlanta area overnight tonight till about 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I want to take a little deeper dive into the outlook for this afternoon because we have tornado warnings going on. This is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center from the National Weather Service. You can see what's happening here. There is a high likelihood of extreme weather conditions, major impacts to critical infrastructure in this whole area that you see. Any area in the orange or the red or this pink color. This is a very high likelihood of severe weather, and it is going on right now. And some areas you can see what's going on for major impacts. We're talking about Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Hoover, Alabama, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. These are areas that are really under high threat. If you live in these areas, make sure you're watching your local broadcast television meteorologists that you trust so they can be tracking the storms for you. Long track tornadoes are possible in this area. Also, large hail and winds of 75 miles per hour or greater. And that is during the day, today, and into tonight. What about tomorrow? So tomorrow, the outlook, it eases up a little bit. We don't have a forecast for any long track tornadoes that are likely to happen here. But you can see extending all the way from the Florida Panhandle to up into South Carolina and into North Carolina and into parts of Maryland and even southern Pennsylvania. There is a chance for severe weather. This area that I just outlined has the highest likelihood of extreme weather conditions. So perhaps a few tornadoes, some sporadic damaging wind swaths. That's what I think is more likely from North Carolina on up into the mid-Atlantic, Maryland, southern Pennsylvania. Perhaps some sporadic damaging winds, that's straight line winds that could gust over 60 to 70 miles per hour in some storms. And this is Sunday morning through dusk. So through about 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon is when this severe weather outbreak could happen. There we go. And I'm going to zoom in. Look at all these individual thunderstorms. These are long track. Anywhere you see a red polygon, that is a tornado warning in effect right now. So let's zoom down real quick here just so you can see where some of these tornadoes are. This is near Summit, Macomo, Magnolia. This is in parts of, this is eastern Louisiana is right here, stretching down in this area. So it's just over the Mississippi border into Mississippi where this tornado warning is. This one is in Louisiana. right down in here. So near Franklinton, just to the north of Franklinton, this is an active tornado warning, and that circulation is moving off to the northeast. And you can just see how unstable the atmosphere is, how many tornado warnings are in effect right now because of this very unstable atmosphere that's going on. And even the radar here does pick up immediately as soon as the National Weather Service issues their tornadoes. There's that line that's over eastern Louisiana that is moving to the east and northeast. Nothing severe issued on them, but a couple of flash flood warnings. There are numerous flash flood warnings issued because of the rate at which this rain is falling. And I'll go back over to GeoCollaborate and show you what it looks like from the standpoint of the satellite, of the radar data. And I'll turn that on so you can see what's going on just from the extent of the radar. You can see this is the area that's under the gun for tornadoes to develop. And indeed, we do have tornado warnings in this area right now. You can see that line. It's moving to the east, and it's going to be moving this way during the evening and into tonight. But these individual cells are moving to the northeast. Okay, I'll change my color here just a little bit so you can see. I'll make it in yellow. So these individual cells are moving this way. So Nashville, you're already under a tornado watch. That is through tonight because this area of severe weather will be impacting you over the next several hours into tonight. So anybody that lives in this particular area here, I'll zoom out, clear this drawing here. Anybody in this area, make sure when you go to bed tonight, you keep your NOAA weather radio on. If you have one, do not turn your phone on silent and keep your alerts turned on in your settings. Go to your settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom, make sure your emergency alerts are turned on. So we're going to see this system impact the southeast and even the mid-Atlantic during the day tomorrow. So let me show you what that looks like in GeoCollaborate. You can see what's going on here. This is the high risk for today. This is day one. And so now I'm going to turn the radar data off, and I'm going to turn off the day one convective outlook and turn on the day two convective outlook. So this is an area that could see severe weather, even a few tornadoes during the day tomorrow. From tomorrow about mid-morning until about dusk, we could see severe thunderstorms, mainly I would think from North Carolina into Virginia into Maryland. Straight line winds could be the biggest problem, but we can't rule out the spin up of an individual tornado or two. But down towards Georgia and Florida, there could be a few more tornadoes just because of the unstable nature of the air. Temperatures are going to get a little bit warmer because of some sunshine heating the ground, and dew points that'll be well up into the 60s. That won't happen up into the mid-Atlantic area, but when that line comes through, we could see strong gusty winds gusting to 60 to perhaps 70 miles an hour in some of those thunderstorms that will be moving through the area. That's during the mid-Atlantic tomorrow. Okay, so let me just give you a quick look out to the west. We've covered the east and some of the severe weather here, but I want to show you what it looks like out to the west. This is the GOES satellite and the GOES West satellite that is actually a geostationary, taking a look from Hawaii, even over to Guam and the western part of the United States. And we do have moisture that's headed into, let me refresh this too. I'll just refresh this while we're talking. I'll refresh this loop. We do have moisture that's headed into the Oregon coast and the Washington coast. You can see that here. That's what this stream of moisture is. Look at this. This is an atmospheric river, and it's coming ashore right now in parts of Oregon and Northern California. It's not going to be major. It's not highly convective. It's not going to be really persistent. Look at this area, this storm rotating here in the Pacific, this one in the Gulf of Alaska. So many dynamic weather systems. Here is Hawaii right here. I'm circling Hawaii, so pretty decent weather there right now. But we do have a weak atmospheric river that is heading our way in Northern California and through Oregon. And let me show you that too. Let me fix that here. Right there we go. Center it up. And you can see this point in Northern California is where this forecast applies. This is an atmospheric river forecast. This is the line indicating today, right now. So we're going to have an AR2 coming ashore in California from today into about mid-morning tomorrow. So that's that rain that is impacting us from the standpoint of that satellite picture. That's what I just showed you here. That is this area of moisture that's heading into Oregon and into California. So it's more of a nuisance type of rain, but your soil is still saturated. So there could be some local areas of flooding. And you can see as the clouds hit the mountains there and then go over the other side of the mountains, they tend to dry out. Watch this. We'll zoom in a little bit on this satellite imagery as this is atmospheric rivers coming into Oregon and northern Washington. Look at how the air dries out a little bit and wave clouds form. Look at that. Strong winds coming across the mountains. You can see those wave clouds. They're not moving at all. They're really spectacular wave clouds in the parts of California as well. But on the windward side of this atmospheric river, you can see the clouds building up and dropping rain in Oregon and northwestern California. From San Francisco on south, just some high, thin clouds going on there, and even towards Los Angeles, you just see some high clouds, and even down towards San Diego. What do you know? Another beautiful day after a little bit of morning moisture there along the coastline. But that's the way it looks for the West Coast. Not a major atmospheric river, but we will have some impacts over the next 24 to 36 hours or so. Let's talk about the models and what's going on here. So this is the high resolution rapid refresh model called the HER model. And I just zoomed in here on the southeast because I just want to show you the progression of the expected area of severe weather over the next 24 hours or so. So here we are this afternoon. You can see these thunderstorms, tornado-producing thunderstorms. Anytime you see these individual little areas of red and orange, that is perhaps tornado-producing, the supercell thunderstorms, because it could produce tornadoes. And look how that extends up into Tennessee, also into Kentucky. We're talking about potential flash flooding and also tornadoes. Look at this. This is by 20Z this evening. And so that temperature is in about 35 minutes. So 4 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Central time, these thunderstorms, possible tornadoes, will be impacting Nashville and the Nashville area on up into Kentucky and even southern Illinois and Indiana. We'll be seeing perhaps some severe weather, mainly Indiana here. But look at this line stretching down through Alabama. That is going in Mississippi, approaching Alabama. And by tonight, we're talking about some potential severe weather and tornadoes. Pay attention. Your local broadcast TV stations will have their meteorologists on the air likely all night tonight because of this major severe weather threat. So turn on your local television station and watch what's going on and head to any safe shelter that you have in the area. Many areas, Alabama and Mississippi, are mobile homes and manufactured homes. Make sure you know of a place where you can go to remain safe and keep those cell phones on so you can get those warnings. But look, as we go into the early hours of tomorrow, Sunday, this line really still holds together and will be knocking on the western doorsteps of Atlanta. And that is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on because we could have straight line winds, large hail, damaging winds of 60 miles per hour or more, and also isolated tornadoes in the Atlanta metro area. And so that line will be through by about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning through Atlanta, and it'll be impacting parts of western North Carolina, even the Charlotte area tomorrow morning. And there is a high wind warning for Asheville and the areas along the Appalachian Mountains for very strong winds. High wind warnings mean winds of 55, perhaps 60 miles per hour. So make sure you have a shelter in place to go. You live in sturdy areas. Those of you still impacted by the remnants of Hurricane Helene and the devastating flooding in western North Carolina, make sure right now you're seeing if you can identify areas you can go to stay safe, because the winds are going to get pretty wicked later on this afternoon into tonight and tomorrow morning. So let me widen out a little bit and show you the GFS model and what that looks like. This is the global forecast model, a little lower resolution, but it covers a larger area geographically. And you can see these thunderstorms really getting together. This is during the day. Let's go to the 6-hour forecast here. And then we'll go to the 12-hour forecast. And this is valid tonight. And you can see that area of showers and thunderstorms, very heavy thunderstorms through Kentucky, southern Indiana, Ohio, down through Tennessee and into Alabama. That's where you really want to pay attention during the night tonight, because look at that. Through central Tennessee, I'm very concerned about severe thunderstorms and potential tornadoes all the way from Nashville east tonight into tomorrow morning. And then that line holds together and comes through the mid-Atlantic states, even through Pennsylvania. You see that? Through the mid-Atlantic area, Northern Virginia, and down through South Carolina into Florida. It looks like a very thin line, but it could have very strong winds, hail, and some scattered tornadoes. Now, this is tomorrow around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when we can expect these showers and thunderstorms, and there may even be a secondary line that comes through later in the afternoon in the mid-Atlantic area. But look at this. It should all be off the coast. This is early in the morning, Tuesday morning. High pressure will be taking over, and we'll also be getting some, it's going to be fluctuating temperatures over the next couple of weeks. Let me show you what it looks like from the GFS. We have warm temperatures. This is the temperature anomaly data, like how much above average or below average the temperatures are. This is about 5,000 feet or so up in the atmosphere. So we can watch the air masses. Where are the warm air masses flowing? Where are the cold air masses going? And so we have generally cold air out west and warm, moist air because of this strong low pressure system that's igniting all this severe weather. Let me put this into motion for you. This is Saturday afternoon today, and we'll continue this on into Sunday. So we still have the warm air here, pumping up warm, moist air. That's what's setting the stage for some of the severe weather. But look at this cold air behind it. Is that going to make it to the East Coast? Yes, it is. It's going to modify a bit, but we will see a little bit of cooler weather before it warms up again. And then look, more warm weather, but look at this strong cold front. This is a strong cold front here that's going to be coming through on Wednesday evening about midweek. And look at this cold air punching through. So majority of the East Coast is going to be colder than average by later in the week, this upcoming week. And then some warm air will replace it. A little shot of cooler air in the mid-Atlantic, and then more warm air coming in. So it's going to be kind of a temperature rock and roll, which is normally what March brings. And March is living up to its name right now because it is bringing severe weather to us in the mid-Atlantic and also throughout the South with the strong storms. And so this is what it looks like once again from the satellite imagery. We do have tornado warnings in effect, and I'll show you one more time here. GeoCollaborate full screen. I'm going to turn off the day 2 convective outlook, but I want to turn on all of the National Weather Service watches and warnings. Let me turn those off just for a second because I want to turn on just the warnings from the National Weather Service. Look at this. So these are all of the active tornado warnings and flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings in central Mississippi. These are all tornado warnings, these red polygons. So we're talking about Pike County, all of these areas, Covington County into Smith County, Jasper County, under active tornado watches right now. Now in Central Time, we're talking about 2:32 in the afternoon. I don't like to cover these in detail because this is not a live broadcast, but you can also see more severe thunderstorm warnings happening as well. And typically when we have the severe thunderstorm warnings going on, we will get flash flood or flood warnings for all of these areas. So Nashville currently under a flood warning. The severe weather is still going to be impacting you, Nashville, and moving on into Alabama. So that's what this update looks like. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. We'll be bringing you a couple of interesting pieces of info from Florida, from the west coast of Florida. We're in Tampa, St. Petersburg. So that's it for this update. We'll be back with another one coming up, most likely tomorrow because of the severe weather threat. And thanks so much for watching this update. Please watch out for your neighbors. They really do appreciate it. Watch out for yourself. Keep your cell phones turned on tonight. If you're in any of the severe weather areas that are forecast tonight through much of the south, southeast, and mid-Atlantic during the day tomorrow, that's how the National Weather Service gets those wireless information warnings to you. Also, if you have a NOAA weather radio, that operates 24/7, 365, and it has an alarm built into it where you get alerted if you get tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings or any other type of warnings, such as a flood warning as well. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. See you tomorrow.